Thank you for joining me. Please allow me to explain both the title and the thumbnail. No, I don't work for the pizza company, though I do enjoy their stuff. I actually stole this ship from the Red Baron in this game. It's really nice, actually. I like it. I'll give you a tour in just a second. It's super agile, super maneuverable. The bobbing and weaving that you can pull off in this thing's incredible. Pop quiz. Is the Red Baron actually a real person? Or based on a real person? Yes. Yes, he was. Manfred von... I forget. You can look it up. Got shot down 25. Tragic, right? Well, I mean, he was a fighter pilot. He was in literally World War I. Died in 1917. It was all tragic. He had he had, I think, exactly 80 confirmed air combat victories. Using something exactly like this, of course. And you'll notice, see here, this is the inside of the interceptor frigate, and the heavy frigate looks exactly the same. This is the main deck of the capital ship. This one, noticeably, is much darker on the inside, much redder too. So wearing the outfit like I've got with the bright red helmet and the black armor actually makes sense in this environment. A little bit of camouflage in my own home field advantage. It's also a lot noisier in general. I don't know if you noticed. There's a whole lot more ambient fan noise. Man, how fitting. It's like my studio. It's like, this ship was made for me after all. So anyway, here we go. It's hard to find. I was trying to see if I could find one spot where there's a nice balance of visibility and cover for your own footsteps, but also at the same time, not too much so you can hear other people. But basically, if someone boards you and you already have your spot and you're in perfect stillness, because the biggest thing you can do to stand out in an environment like that is to move. Whoever's most patient, whoever keeps their nerve longest, it's the person who'll be creeping around, walking around, who's gonna get popped. Look at that, one of the few places where I can actually blend in. And so, the other part of the title and the thumbnail, Have Some Pie, is that, look, let's face it, I am not that great of a shot. And the end stats will reflect that, numerically, mathematically. You'll have quantifiable proof that I am a below average marksman. But that's okay. Because what I want to talk about, what I want to prove, is that just like with the Red Baron, as we'll get into, being a tactician, having knowledge, and applying fundamentals can actually make up for a huge amount of individual skill, or just a lacking or shortcoming in a variety of certain skills. Just brush up on the others, play to your strengths as you try to cover the weaknesses. So also, I'm alone here, I'm not backed up. We're gonna do what's called slicing the pie. Good old room clearing technique. Where, that one before, as we just saw, I knew the position because he'd given himself away by walking, and I knew I had a better bet if I went to the same level ground with him, that I would have better weapons and armor. Slicing the pie is when you go around a corner and when you make your entry, kind of like this, but not like exactly. And when it's like you're slicing a pie, you make a angular shape or a triangular shape with an imaginary line as you go around the corner so that you can see everything as you are coming into view, is I guess the best, simplest way to say it. So that way you don't walk out in front and you don't have a line of sight on something, but they do. And then ideally, If you're really... Oh, hello, buddy. So here we go. I'm trying to make it so that my iron sights are gonna pass over them as soon as I first see them. So then instead of having to look at them and then acquire them as a target, then pull the trigger, all I have to do is see them and pull the trigger, because my sights are already there. And that way I stay in cover too, because the moment that we come into contact, I'm right next to a solid chunk covering me. Because armor's great and all, but the real magic is just using your environment in a variety of ways. Being able to retreat, use high ground, low ground, whatever, stalk around the corners, being quiet, etc., etc. But no, by and large, because I don't totally rely on my gunfighting abilities, I rely on the ability to run back to cover faster, or duck back into cover faster than they can kill me. So even if they land a shot on me, maybe even the head, because this is a sturdy helmet, I might be able to still survive 1 or 2 shots, and then just use a health kit and get back up to full. And that has saved me countless times, especially if, as I'm maneuvering through the environment and through cover, someone hits me and I have no idea where it came from. I can just immediately retreat and be safe. Also, check this out. Notice in the bottom right corner, the green bar that's filling back up. So that's the stamina, right? Right underneath the health. When it gets really low, you'll see the gun wobbling back and forth. And of course that affects the accuracy, right? But it actually does that long before your iron sights ever start to move. This is a huge secret. This is the big kicker. If you made it through the video this long, if you're still paying attention, this is going to give you superpowers. When people run around a whole bunch, and especially when they're freaking out, that's why they can't hit you. That's why they'll run up and stand in front of you and the shot goes completely wide. Or maybe they're just bad. But I was using the MG42. Go try it out. I had just like ran a whole bunch, had no stamina, and even though he was right in front of me, and I'm hip firing anyway, it was like I was shooting in complete 90-degree angles. And so then even at the other end of it, a slight decrease in the stamina, your shots will veer slightly, but it won't have any visual indicator beforehand. I could be wrong about that though. Go test it out, but keeping your pacing, not going too hard, not burning yourself out. Sometimes you just grab your weapon and walk it straight into the target. A lot of life lessons there. So now I just go ahead and blatantly go in the face of all safety and all whatever, and I'm just trying to bait out somebody into taking a shot. Because I don't want to scan, if I'm being honest. I don't want to sit here and visually scan all up and down the tower. I kind of just want to see if someone notices me. Someone please just notice me. Shoot your shot, I'm out here. So if you're lonely... And then I would know. It's like recon by baiting, just using yourself. Because again, I'm standing by the pillar or I'm standing by the doorway or something, they shoot, I just take a little trip back inside. And then I can just nope my way back, like I'm about to here. Because I can hear somebody in there. But unlike a lot of the encounters up until this point, I have absolutely no idea what his armaments are, what kind of gear he's got, or anything, what his actual elevation is. So I'm going to get some distance, because in a lot of cases, my gun is one of the few that can engage just as well at a long distance as it can at close. It's a lot more likely that his can't. Taking another tremendous risk here. Again, banking on the ability of my speed to get me through. I can't do that when I'm wearing lesser armors. And this poor feller here is about to see why I recommend the use of the pie. Yep. You see again, total, if you slow down frame by frame, definitely not perfect execution on my part, but look where he died. I'm gonna speed this up here for you because I'm about to do the looting dance. But this dude, right in the middle of the doorway, whereas I was just a one lean away from being safe again. And here we go, gunfight happening in the midst of this. Yeah, speeding this up because no one wants to see that. Just suffice it to say a whole bunch of really cool stuff as I shuffle back and forth. And there's still a gunfight going on. So I had to duck in and out of cover and wait for a good while. But now is my chance to just skedaddle. Now that I've got everything I want, I can sort of start being a little bit more agile and less careful. Again, if my life really depended on it, I should be looking back and forth and scanning and cutting that angle. Oh, look over here. So I don't like going this way, because check this out. Giant open crevice where they can just see right down there. Not a fan. And bro, I mean, like, if I can do this, you absolutely can. Whoever you are, literally whoever you are, if I am capable of being even sort of good like this, I guess, really, it's just application, understanding, and practice of fundamental principles, because that's the real secret of the Red Baron. He actually had a brother who was more acrobatic, more spectacular, like a more dazzling pilot. But the Red Baron was a leader. He used the tactics. He used cover on his flank and rear with his other squadron homies. I couldn't think, I was going to say squad mates or whatever, squadron mates. But nah. He knew how to make use of all the other advantages. He actually crashed at his first test flight at the controls. But yet, 80 confirmed air combat victories. And a byword and a name legend for being a fighter pilot itself. So, yeah, man. I kinda expected that that was gonna button up earlier, or later rather, except it buttoned up earlier, and now we're here. Oh yeah, here we go. 46% accuracy, I told you. Below average. That's what the Wikipedia article said too about the Red Baron. He appeared to be a below average pilot. Have a good one.